Okay, it is now Sunday, and I should be working. I just took Aiden to work. He works noon to 8 today, but I am behind at home, so I'm not going to work. I was still making pancakes when I was like, oh, fuck, I can't believe it's already almost time to take Aiden to work. So I told him, you got to get ready. You got to go. I'm like, ah. So I had to go home and finish making some pancakes. But, yeah, I slept until like, I want to say 7 this morning, which was nice. And then I just laid in bed and watched some Hannibal. And then I got up and took a shower. And then I started making pancakes. And also doing the laundry at the same time. Because like I said, I always do laundry. And then I was also watching YouTube videos, which is what this video is about. Okay. I was watching 2 different types of videos from this guy I love to watch. You know, he likes to talk about other people's videos. Where he's one of those, gets a video about somebody and starts blabbing what he thinks and whatever. And the first one was on Amazon. And like I said, you know, it totally fits the Amazon thing. But I'll skip that one first because I want to talk about this one before I forget what the hell I'm thinking. Because in the video, he said that he felt like that people are not working hard enough to get out of to get a better life. I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. And actually, I did understand what he was trying to say because like me, I am content working a simple job that doesn't pay well, okay? Like Walmart, fast food, let's face it, okay? I am content enough to do that. And unfortunately, in my contentness of not trying to get out of those jobs, that is why I will never succeed and do better, right? I'm never gonna work towards, like I said, I have friends that are young and even old, but let's say for sure a friend that's young, and this person like they can get a job like this. Like they're actually going out there and doing what the fuck they have to get a better job, and that's what they've been doing. Like they're making an effort, but being young, you kind of have to, unless of course you just want to live like these people, like aimlessly, right? I mean, there's us people that do want to just live aimlessly, I'm guessing, not the motivated people like my friend, motivated to actually do better, to get their lives back, you know, like to chase something, right? You know what I mean? Like what that one guy said that was working as a vendor at Walmart, you know, how he said like he didn't want people that kind of kept him down, like me. I'm completely content to be whatever. Or he needs people who could help elevate him, help him get better, show maybe he can learn from, right? And that does make sense because we do learn shit from other people, and that usually makes us attracted to them, right? I would assume. You know what I mean? And you know, so I kind of get the mentality of that. You know, I mean, I do get it, but like I said, I'm almost 50. I don't give a shit about that shit. I just want to live comfortable. I don't want to struggle for everything, and I want to be able to retire, you know, and I want to get out of debt. Those are the simple things. I do feel like we should be able to have a living wage, because even in the video they said back in the old days, someone could make, you know, they could feed a whole family and stuff on regular pay. You're not like today where, let's face it, you cannot do it. You know, they said that in the old this is probably why taxis have gone out of style and Uber's taken over, but he said it costs like in New York, it costs $500,000 to get a taxi license. $500,000. Who's going to spend that to get an Uber license if they ever had that, or another taxi license? Let me tell you, that would not be my goal. I'd be like, apparently they make a lot of money if that's what they're spending to become a taxi driver, right? No wonder they went out of business. That's all I gotta say. No wonder, you know. But God, because who the hell could afford that? That's insane. You know, just to become a taxi driver. You know, like it's a career. You know, but I don't know. I mean, it just made me think, because like I said, I am one of those people. I'm content. I don't need to go. I've already had a family. I raised a family, but I would like to retire. I would like to be able to pay my bills. I would like to have my own property house where I don't have to worry about someone charging me Godzoos amount of rent whenever they feel like it, you know, and kick you out because, you know, so you're homeless. I don't want those things, you know what I mean? There's, you know what I mean? I don't know. But the idea of like, oh, I want to be a doctor or CEO or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? No, I don't. I don't care about being the manager of Walmart. you know, or even a team lead. And, you know, none of that shit interests me. I don't know what actually interests me. Maybe I just want to retire, and maybe that's why I've been watching videos. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched movies, but I was watching movies, and I always look at their lifestyles in the movies. You know, like how they're living. And I remember like I watched this one where these people, they went to, I want to say it was like India or something, but here these places, and I just can't imagine how people live like this. But they didn't have jobs apparently. They were living in these hotels. They were just standing around. You know, like, and I was thinking, oh my God, I can imagine a lifestyle like that. It's kind of weird, you know? And then in this lifestyle, this was a good movie. But, because it had Kate Winslet in it. I also thought it had child pornography in it, because they had the children kind of naked. But, you know, I was like, damn, you know? But, yeah, they were wandering around. They even ate some bad food because they were so hungry, you know? And, I'm sure they learned a lot from this adventure, you know what I mean? Like I said, sometimes you gotta take adventures, and I definitely, like I said, you know, like I said, if I was younger, I would totally go backpacking on Europe and shit like that I kind of should have did when I was younger. I knew someone who did that, you know. I mean, I don't know what happened to him after that, you know, but I mean, it sounded pretty cool. You know, there's some people that actually do get to do that. Now, I think he came from a wealthier family than me, so obviously he could probably take a year off from college and do this, you know? But anyway. But I know you can do that even if you don't, because like I said, it all depends on how much you want to spend, how you want to live, how you choose to live your life. Like I said, there's how many people are living frugally and some that aren't living frugally. I mean, there's so many different lifestyles out there. It's just hard to pick the one that you feel would be the best for you. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to be one of those people just living in some hut, no job, no money, standing around, like, aimlessly? Not really. That does not sound like a good time to me. I happen to like to spend money. So, unfortunately, you know, I do like spending money. Maybe too much. But, yeah, I don't know. And then I think, oh God, we're all so segregated. It's just crazy how segregated we are. It's so depressing. You know, a lot of times I think about young, when you actually would make friends and then you hang out and you do stuff together. And it's definitely hard to meet people nowadays and do that with, right? I mean, it's really, really hard. It's shockingly how hard it is. You know, everyone's got, because we all have to work, we all have to make money, we have other shit going on in our lives. You know, it's just insane. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with this video, except it really made me think. Like, at least I know, like I said, I have known for a long time that I am one of those people that just doesn't give a shit about, you know, and like I said, like I was trying not to like offend anybody, because he knew, he's like, you're going to get offended because you're saying, I'm not saying you're not working hard, because yeah, you are working with people, but he's like, if you know this 40-hour job is not cutting it, and yet you're still doing it, you know what I mean? You are still doing it, even though you know it's not paying your bills, you're having to work hella hard, you're still, you know what I mean? Where I guess he feels like he did all that shit, he worked those 40-hour jobs, he did all kinds of jobs, but he knew that was not what he wanted for himself, you know, and he knew, you know, so he elevated himself, I guess, found better ways to make money, and he's even said YouTube is one of his money outlets. It is one of his money outlets that makes him the money that he makes to live the life that he can live, because he did better, you know what I mean? Compared to the people like us that just say, this ain't working, but we're still fucking doing it, you know what I mean? Over and over and over again, you know, and yeah, we threw in some Uber to make it, you know? We might still have to work 7 days a week. Oh, I gotta go. Cindy's calling me. I told her I would answer her. Bye.